What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Hey, it's so crazy, man, because I was getting ready to go ahead and break down these offensive tackles. And as soon as I get ready to break down these offensive tackles, I'm seeing Cowboys making moves. I'm like, we can go ahead and push that live either tonight or tomorrow. So, yeah, we still going to go talk about these tackles, but we definitely got to talk about this free agency, man, because Dallas, man, I look, I'll say I like the moves, I guess. You know what I mean? As far as, what we did so far, what we let go and what we brought back, you know. There's one move I'm like, but I mean, we know that they're gonna bring their guys back, man. We know that. We know they're gonna bring their guys back. So as you can see, man, first things first, man, we're gonna get in there. Stephon Gilmore. Stephon Gilmore, man. Hey, I like that. I like that. I like that trade, man. So let's go ahead and give Dallas a round of applause for that trade. Let's give him another round of applause for that trade, y'all. Now I know Stephon Gilmore is just a little bit older. I understand that. I understand he's a little bit older. But that's a good selection because we all know. We said, hey, Dallas, we don't need nobody in the draft. We needed a vet. And I have to say, man, you got to upgrade from Anthony Brown. Now, you don't need Stephon Gilmore to be a number one corner. That's not what we're bringing him in for. We bringing him in for security. We bringing him in to be that vet. We bringing him in to go ahead, man, and do your job. That's all we need him to do. We don't need him to be locked down. We just need him to be better than Anthony Brown. Now, Anthony Brown, like I said, man, Anthony Brown wasn't bad in his Dallas Cowboys tenure, but it definitely could have been a whole lot worse. And let's say he had hot and cold years. One year he'll be hot. The next year he'll be like, what is going on? The next year he'll be hot. And the next year he's like, what is going on? And then he'll have spells where he just have inconsistent play, right? He may not come up and tackle. He getting beat deep, right? And we're not going to act like before he unfortunately got hurt that Anthony Brown wasn't getting took over top. So one thing that you got with Stephon Gilmore, right? He's an older corner. He's a more experienced corner. That's going to help Diggs out in the younger corners. But you get somebody, right? If Patrick Peterson can still be playing right now, there's definitely room for a vet like Stephon Diggs. Now, Stephon Diggs was asked to be the number one corner, then that'd probably be asking a lot for him in this stage of his career, right? Stephon Diggs, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was Defensive Player of the Year one year, and that wasn't that long ago, right? We just need him to go ahead, man. Just do your job. Be that second corner. And it looking like what Dan Quinn is doing is building up the secondary. Now, we're going to get into that, right? We're going to get into the secondary thing because not only, right, did we bring Stephon Gilmore, we brought Donovan Wilson back. So your trio at safety is put back in. Now you have Diggs, you have an up and coming young corner who played excellent, who was playing inside and outside. I don't know what they're gonna do with Lewis, but you have that in the bag. You have Gilmore. You brought back Leighton Vander Esch, right? You got You got some more experience from Damon Clark. Don't know what you're gonna do with Jabril, but you got somebody, right? What's man? I always keep forgetting the Oklahoma State linebacker name, but you got him. So you got linebackers, y'all, right? See, I think they're gonna go ahead. All right, look. So what? All right, look. Because I like the direction that they're trying to go as far as the improvement that we need, because it looks like it's going to be an offensive draft. So there's a reason why we went on ahead and talked offense first. But just because I took corner, I traded for a corner in Stephon for a 5th-round pick. Just because I signed Leighton back for, 2 for 11. So probably a 1-year deal. And if he has a good year, it'll be probably he'll be back again for one more. And then you have Donovan Wilson, 3 for 24, 13.5. All right. So not only did, you bring your guys back, that gives him more flexibility to go ahead and be aggressive, to go ahead and help this offense out. I honestly wouldn't put it past that this team was to go ahead and gets them some offensive line help, some wide receiver help, some running back. This gives them a lot of flexibility to go ahead and be aggressive and take offense, because no matter who they bring in, right? Bring Tony Pollard back. We don't know what they're going to do with Zeke, right? This offensive line needs to be better, right? And I'm not talking off of play, but I'm talking off of for Dak. Like, you damn near got to have a top 5 offensive line for Dak Prescott. Let's be real, because when Dak Prescott was at his premium, and what we can call him premium, which was his rookie year, in which we needed our quarterback to be this year, but wasn't, right? That's when you got the best out of Dak Prescott. Somebody that was more willing to use their legs, somebody that had a run game and had premium protection, and had had Cole Beasley, had Witten, had nice safety valves, right? Had Dez Bryant, right? You had weapons, right? And I believe that they're going to go ahead, in order to be able to be back in winning and to be back into really contention, which we really haven't been in quite some time. You're going to have to bring that offense back, but probably better. And you're going to have to continue to build around his defense, right? Because we had the offense when Dak, but that defense was getting cooked. That defense got cooked, right? Got bounced out by the Packers, right? So let's dig into the free agency, right? Let's dig into the defensive side real quick. Like I said, Stephon Gilmore, I like it. Older. Probably wish you would have done this like 4 years ago. But nonetheless, this is a good pickup for this team. Your secondary should be a strength, right? It should be a strength, right? See, no matter what people talk about with Hooker played good. When you're not calling his name or getting toasted, that's a luxury. That's a plus. To go ahead and call on Hooker and know that you got a good safety. Right? Hooker did a whole bunch of things. Yeah, he didn't get no 15 interceptions, 10 interceptions. Cool. Was he giving up plays? Did you have range? Did you do what you had to do? Right? We wasn't paying him to be Derwin James. We was paying him to be upgraded to have the man this free safety position and make it a strength, and it definitely was a strength. We rolling with the 3 safety look. We got Wilson. We got Curse, right? Anything else you want to do? I believe, man, that Israel is probably going to play a factor in this stuff. Israel Mukwamo, right? He might go ahead, man, and be like a tweener type of dude. So we can't be forgetting about Israel Mukwamo, right? You got your up front. You got and I mean everything in the back end, was kind of solidified. If I had to be honest with you, right? The main thing for what we got going on is up front, right? You got your linebackers, you got your safety, You got your corners, right? Right. You got a good 4 or 5 corners on here, right? Like I said, let's go back. Diggs, Gilmore now. I don't know what they're gonna do with Lewis, but I think you should keep Lewis. To be honest with you, you got Lewis. You got the Fresno State corner. You got and you got Israel, right? Anything that you add, it should just be added depth. And you got the Oregon State corner, right? And then I'm pretty sure Kelvin Joseph is out the door. I'm quite sure that Kelvin Joseph is out the door, especially with making this move. I'm pretty sure Kelvin Joseph is out the door, right? So secondary, we're not worried about that, right? So you can almost, unless you just have a good corner in the draft that just comes to you, you can just pretty much say that secondary won't be the first pick. Bringing Wilson back and getting Gilmore with everyone. Yeah, the only, and I didn't, and the reason why, you see, I love Wilson. I feel you. Yeah, Jay Bird. Yeah. And the cool thing about it is, it wasn't that I was against Wilson bringing back. I just thought that it was going to cost too much. And when I looked at the numbers, I'm like, yes, that's solid. That's pretty good for Donovan Wilson, because I honestly thought there was going to be a bidding war for his services, and definitely I wasn't willing to pay premium dollar for Donovan Wilson when you can go ahead and mold you a Donovan Wilson, whether it be with somebody that you already have or somebody through the draft. But and then my thing is, and here's my thing is with Donovan Wilson, can he hold up? That was also my my thinking, and with what's going on. Can he hold up physically? Right? Yeah, this year he proved that he can pretty much be available. But man, when you come the way that Donovan Wilson comes, that takes a toll on your body. Now, I'll be honest with you, right? I'm not thrilled with bringing Leighton back. I'm not, right? Now, Leighton had a good season. Don't get it wrong, right? I'm not saying that he didn't. But for what this team needs, unless Clark is going to be that, but this team needs a thumper. This team needs a thumper, right? You got him 2 for 11. So what? You got him for about a good $5.5 million, about a $5.5 million. So that's solid. Right? Yeah. I love Kelvin Joseph with special teams, but he gone. I think he gone now, man. Joseph needs to be gone. He did good on special teams, but you do not take a special team and say, yeah. And the cool thing about it is Jermaine Pratt. Man, I did that film session on, I believe, man, Jermaine Pratt. You got Jermaine Pratt maybe about at a good 6 or 7 million. I believe that would have been an upgrade. And I believe that would have been something that could have been beneficial. Even Bobby Wagner. And I'm looking at the deal with Kendricks with the Chargers. I think Kendricks over there for about a good 6.5 mil. I'm like, you could do that. I'm like, so if you're going to go ahead and bring Leighton in like that, if Leighton's going to come back, then you must be bringing in some monsters at D tackle. That D tackle must be upgraded, because there's no way that you can keep the D tackle position and you can allow them ends to play that the way that they play in the run game and think that Leighton Vander Esch is going to have another replica year. To be able to replicate that year, there's no way that you can expect Leighton to do that. So if you bringing back Leighton, then you must be thinking, okay, this man is going to be clean, right? We get ready to bring in some guys that's going to keep this man clean, because you have to. Because even in Seattle, back then with Dan Quinn, when they had KJ Wright, Malcolm Smith, Bobby Wagner, KJ Wright and Bobby Wagner and all them, they were clean. They had Mebane, Tony McDaniel, what was it, Red Bryant. They had D ends, they had D tackles that kept their linebackers clean. They also and then I hear people talking about, oh, but they gave up a couple 100 yards rushing during the season, but they didn't give up a couple 100 yards rushing during the whole season. Though they eventually fixed it, and this team never fixed it. Right? What was our downfall against the Niners? Right? When we was trying to go ahead and get the ball back to the offense and hopefully get another chance. What did we do? A lot of let Elijah Mitchell bounce to the outside. He just made a boneheaded play to go ahead, man, and go out of bounds. If he didn't go out of bounds, the game probably would have been well over before even the last drive. So we're not going to act like, that we still ain't got a problem. Do I like the secondary? I mean, bringing the secondary back in its current state with, having, our corners, our young corners going ahead and grow and having more experience. Do I like it? Yes, right? Because you don't need, let's be honest, you don't need lockdown corners to be successful, right? Look at the Chiefs, right? You don't need lockdown corners to be successful. But also, let's look at the Chiefs, though. Who is playing middle linebacker, though? Mr. Nick Bolton. And we know that Nick Bolton can go ahead and fill them holes, right? So we're not going to act like the Chiefs and knew that they had a linebacker problem and went on ahead in the draft and addressed it, right? We ain't gonna act like that D line, like they didn't have an excellent D tackle and excellent D end and Frank Clark, especially during playoff time. We're not gonna act like the Chiefs didn't have that. So when you see a team like the Chiefs go to 3 Super Bowls, and you see that the way that they adjust that team, right? They know that, okay, let's look at it. Man, Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl with Juju Smith, Valdez Scantley, right? Tony, who was inconsistent, right? But he's a good player, though, right? And he really just had Kelsey. He had, I think Hardman was hurt. Who was the other one, man? And Sky Moore, right? Wide receivers that you look at on paper, like you maybe got above average wide receiver core at best, but we have a great quarterback. Now we understood that we don't have a great quarterback on Mahomes' level with Dak Prescott. So what do you bring in? You need to bring in an excellent supporting cast around him, right? You see other teams. You see the Giants bringing in Waller, right? You see everybody addressing the needs that kept them from going ahead and going to the promised land. So this team, now I know that free agency ain't done. We still have the draft, and I know we're a long way, to go ahead and acquire talent, right? And I know the way that you see this team now probably won't be when we go ahead and suit up. But it will be crazy if they don't address this. What's going on, T-Dub? Yeah, Bland, Trayvon, and Gilmore. Yeah. Now I'm fine at corner. I ain't got no I ain't got no worry in the world about corner. Even though Gilmore is a better, even though to me, I don't know if y'all agree, but even with Gilmore being a little older, I think he's about 32, 33. With him being older, I still think he's better than Anthony Brown. He's going to be more consistent than Anthony Brown. And that's the thing, the consistency at corner, right? Because you can't have a loose run defense and then all of a sudden have your second corner getting beat deep, right? Because a lot of Anthony Brown's problems was he wasn't throwing hands on the wide receivers. But we all know Stephon Gilmore going to throw hands on the wide receivers, right? So him being in a situation with a pass rush, such as, because I believe I've seen that they trying to bring Fowler back. And even if they didn't bring Fowler back, you got Lawrence, you got Parsons, and you got Sam Williams and a little bit of dose of Dorrance Armstrong to go ahead and rush the passer. And to be honest with you, that's good enough. Because we ain't going to act like the Chiefs was rushing the passer in waves. That's actually good enough, right? But for some reason, Dallas want to go ahead and have a lot of depth, which is cool. But if you're going to do that, then go ahead and address that interior, because as you've seen, it didn't matter how good our pass rusher was at first. If you can't get to the quarterback, if they ain't gonna allow you to get to the quarterback, if they gonna run the ball on you, if they gonna get the ball out their hand quick, what good is having them all these pass rushers and they ain't gonna be able to rush the passer? You know? You know what I mean? Unless Michael plans. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, front office. I was thinking I need to see more Micah at linebacker, and I'll be all right. If I can get linebacker, I understand like Micah needs a run, but Micah took, let's be honest with you. And especially with the weight that Micah Parsons lost, he needs to play more linebacker. You can go ahead and you can put him in. Okay, so if you don't have running back responsibility, if you ain't worried about no tight end, then go ahead and rush, right? But let's be honest with you. Michael Parsons is crazy athletic, and and he's pretty much playing all these positions raw, right? He still don't know what he's fully doing at DN, and he still don't fully know what he's doing at middle linebacker, right? But the man can make plays. And to be honest with you, that's all that matters. Yeah, I agree, Jay Bird. We got to hope Clark. Yeah. Yep. Front, yep. Clark or Harper. One of them has to make a leap for this latent stuff to work. Yep, T-Dub. Yep, I was saying that earlier. Especially for Bland and Nashawn. Dick, that's gonna help to have that vet, because pretty much Trayvon Diggs was the vet, right? Yeah, you got Anthony Brown, but man, Trayvon Diggs was the vet, man. Let's be honest with you, man. Terminator, what's going on? Yeah, I think we saw the Giants use that Nash all the way to. You talking about OCU manure tuck straight hand package? You talking about that package, T-Dub? And I'm gonna tell you another thing. What was the problem? Lawrence standing up. Lawrence need to get back in that 3-point stance, y'all. When Lawrence was superb in stopping the run, he was in that 3-point stance. As soon as this man then went to the 2-point stance, his run defense has been not up to par. I haven't been satisfied. And the cool thing about it is, because I was going to do them offensive tackles, but then I'm like, man, let's talk free agency, man. I was going to do them offensive tackles, but we'll do that either tonight or we'll do that tomorrow. Because I believe, man, I believe one of these tackles, man, I'll be honest with you, man. There's some good offensive tackles, man. I watched about 10, 11 of them. There's some good offensive tackles. And there's some offensive tackles, whether you get them early or maybe a little bit later, that can help this team, whether it be in a swing role or a starting role. Now, y'all know, if we don't go starting tackle early, then I believe that they agree with me in saying, well, let's go might be that guy. But see, I'm all about, even if we're let's go, I'm all about always getting better, always adding depth. And let's be honest with you, even though they're trying to bring Tyron back, we know that we necessarily can't really rely on Tyron to be there to the full season. So regardless, you're going to have to go get you another tackle anyway, right? It's Gilmore, Bland. Yeah, I like that trio, Terminator. I like that trio. Oh, yeah. Hey, shout out to McGovern. He got paid, but there's no way that you pay a guard that way because, like I said, either with Tyler Smith, you either got a guard or a tackle. So it's like this. This is what they're going to do. This is what Dallas going to do. If they like, well, let's go the way I do, then he's going to guard. If they see an elite tackle, he's going to stay. He's going to go to guard. If they see a good guard or maybe an elite guard, he's going to tackle. But that's just the wonderful flexibility of having somebody that can be very good at both gives you. And it'll save you money. But this is why I think that Tyler Smith probably is going to end up being guard when it's all said and done because they're going to think about the money. And then we talk about how the Joneses is cheap. So wouldn't we rather pay money for a guard than pay him left tackle money? You know what I mean? So and the more that they play left tackle, the more expensive that Tyler Smith will be. Wanye Moore, Steen. Yeah. But I honestly think it might be Walesko. And if you can get Walesko, that's gonna save you money. That's gonna save you money and give you more flexibility to go ahead and maybe if you wanted to add a DeAndre Hopkins. Or I see Stephon Diggs been kind of throwing little shots, and who knows? I keep hearing he want to play with his brother. Maybe that could be a Stephon Diggs. And you still go ahead and draft you a wide receiver because I believe Stephon Diggs is 30 now. So, we pretty much brought these players back for a 3-year window, right? Because you have I don't know how long Gilmore's contract was, whether he had a year or two left. I'm not too sure. But you got Donovan, he got a 3 to 24, but I believe 2 years, 13 and a half was guaranteed. So that's the window that they like, man, let's go ahead and make this run for a Super Bowl, right? And then you bring back Leighton Vander Esch for another year, 2 for 11, man, probably a 1-year deal, right? So about a 1 year for $5 to $6 million deal, which is cool for Leighton Vander Esch, right? Which is the vet in the free agency. But like I said, man, I would have rather had went another direction. But my thing is, how do they feel about these linebackers? And then my thing is this. We know that Leighton Vander Esch had neck problems, had stinger problems. So I don't wish injury on nobody, but let's just say, what if? What are we going to do there? And I believe that, I'll be honest with you, I believe Leighton is back because of Micah Parsons. I believe Micah Parsons had a hand in bringing Leighton back. Micah Parsons like Leighton. I believe that's why he's back. I honestly believe that's why he's back. Because if you really wanted to be technical, there's really no reason why Leighton should be back, right? Especially when we talk about a lack of physicality, there's no way that Leighton should be back, right? And so unless you're saying, Leighton, you're not our Mike linebacker, you are a Will linebacker, and Damon Clark is going to be our Mike. Unless you're saying that, because I'm pretty sure Damon Clark is going to get bigger, right? Unless you're saying that Damon Clark is going to be that one that's going to come up here and hit. Michael Parsons is going to play Mike. When he played linebacker, he'll play more linebacker. Unless you're saying that, then I don't really understand. I'm not going to lie. I don't understand this one. Like I said, I see Stephon. I love Stephon. I see Donovan Wilson, right? It came at a price that I didn't think that he was, because I thought that, to be honest with you, I thought Donovan Wilson was going to get into double digits. I thought that he was going to seek a big payday, but I think he actually worked with the Dallas Cowboys to go ahead and bring him back because he wanted to be in Dallas in his scheme. So shout out to Donovan Wilson, because you know good and well that messing around with Steven and them, the only way that they'll go ahead and bring these players back as if it come at a deal that they willing to pay. Donovan gave him, they probably gave Donovan a number, and Donovan's like, okay. Oh, for real? Oh, yeah, come on. Let's go ahead and ink that contract. They went on ahead and sent that fax. Yeah, go ahead. We're going to ink that in, man. That's the only way that I see that happened. And they gave a number. Donovan was like, okay, I really want to be in Dallas, right? Leighton Vander Esch, man, that's just, man, hey, we going to see. We going to see. I'm afraid that Jones is putting Tyron Smith, that left tackle, on there. But the cool thing about it is, right, Jay Bird, if you can get Tyron Smith at left tackle and he could play a full year, this offensive line will be better. It'll be better than what you had. It'll be what we thought it would have been if he would have played last year with Tyler Smith at guard. But the thing about it is that the unfortunate reality of this situation is that Tyron Smith, we're going to expect that he's going to miss some games. How many games is the question? Because even when he came back, he was on that injury report, right? He was banged up, right? It just comes with the territory. They should see when they go ahead and look at this draft and look at the free agents, they shouldn't look at Tyron Smith as somebody to fully count on. They should look at Tyron Smith as a luxury and think about the future and the right now. They should think about, okay, so if Tyron Smith was gone, then what we do? That's what they should think about. They shouldn't be thinking about Tyron Smith being a plan and what if, and they shouldn't think about that. They should think about him as a luxury, not somebody to count on. If they can do that, I'm fine with Tyron, because we know that Tyron Smith is an amazing luxury, right? Because Tyron Smith helped us out a lot. Tyron Smith helped us a lot, especially with, because just think how your offensive line would have been looking if you didn't have Tyron Smith ready to come in that next game for Terrence Steele. Your offensive line would have been down bad. They would have been down bad. You would have been messing around having, because, Peters got banged up. So you would have been messing around and having Josh Ball. So you got Josh Ball, and then you somebody gonna get exposed because Connor McGovern benefited from having a strong left tackle next to him and an improved center. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: if McGovern, if Tyler Biadasz didn't take the next step the way he did at center, McGovern wouldn't have as good of a year, even though he improved. I'll give him that, but I don't think he would have had a good of a year. But he was sandwiched by two good players, which is cool. Hey, front office, I ain't gonna lie. I'm with you on that. Yeah. Micah, because I seen people talking about Jalen Ramsey. Look, I didn't want Jalen Ramsey. I'll be honest with you. Right? I didn't want him. The price was too much. I think the price, we talk about the cap, but I think that would have been too much. I'll be honest with you. That would have been too much. I like the player. I love the player, but I think that another direction would have probably hindered us. It would have hindered us, and maybe having flexibility to make another move, right? But he hasn't played a full game since 2015. Yeah. What's going on, Lo? But the Jones said he was going to be starting. As long as they got a backup plan, then I'll be honest with you, it's hard for me to go against that, because even right now, or even in the draft coming in, and there's some good tackles in the draft, he's still the best. He's still the best option for left tackle, even with Tyler Smith aboard. I believe he's still the best option. It's just that we're so conflicted because of his injury history. Because we wouldn't be talking about not bringing back Tyron Smith or nothing like that if Tyron Smith didn't have these injury problems. So it's hard for me to kind of go against the Joneses on that one. But we can't be in a position like we was last year. Right? We just happened to look out that Tyron Smith came back. Right? We just happened to luck out that Peters gave us some decent snaps, and and pretty much the people who needed to be healthy, which was Biadasz, Zach Martin, Tyler Smith, was healthy, right? But we get Terrence Steele back. That's going to go ahead and make a difference, because Terrence Steele was Pro Bowler. That's Pro Bowl year that Terrence Steele had, and to have him paired up with Zach Martin, and then you get improved tackle play, then that's going to make this offensive line better. That's going to make this offensive line a lot better. Yeah. It's going to be interesting, man, because now, the way that they went about this, you know what we get ready to do in this draft. It's going to be heavy offense. It's going to be heavy offense. We know what they get ready to do in this draft, right? We know that the wide receiver is coming. Hopefully, running back is coming. We know probably offensive line coming. We know that they liking some quarterbacks. So we probably gonna touch on offense through this whole draft. Probably the majority of your draft is gonna be offense, and anybody on defense is gonna be whether somebody that just happened to fall in our lap, or everything gonna be depth pieces. Corner depth piece, safety depth piece, right? Some depth pieces at D tackle or something. Everything's gonna be added depth, right? But one thing that I hope that they can address is going ahead and bringing in some more beef inside. They got to address that, man. Because what good, right? What good is what we did? Because it ain't like, because we pretty much had the same pieces, right? Let's just think about it for a second real quick, right? We had Anthony Brown, right? Let's just say Anthony Brown was giving us what he gave us earlier in the year, right? So we pretty much had the same team. And this is the same team now, including Gilmore, that when you had superb pass rush, you still was getting dogged in a run game. You still wasn't holding the edges in the run game. So if they don't if they either don't get better within and add some real vets that's going to go ahead and really just get on them and hold them accountable. Because like I said, I love Michael Parsons as the leader. I love the way he plays. But let's be honest with you. If we fully rely on Michael Parsons to lead this team is not in good hands. Michael Parsons needs somebody who been there, done that. He needs somebody who been there, done that. He needs somebody that'll get on his line, right? Because I'll be honest with you, I think Dan Quinn was lightweight soft on him, right? When I heard that Dan Quinn allows them for him to correct himself, like he hard on him, that's cool. That's cool. But even a player that's hard on himself needs some coaching. Even a player that's hard on himself need to be held accountable. Even a player that's hard on himself would love to look at somebody and, hey man, come on, right? Come on. See, J-Ron Curse can only do so much for somebody like, so you need somebody in the trenches. And DeMarcus Lawrence is not that guy. You need somebody in the trenches who gonna be like, you need like Calais Campbell, right? You needed a Deron Payne or something like that, man. You needed somebody that's gonna be like, hey man, hold that edge. Hey man, this ain't good enough. Hey man, you see me holding this detail, you see me holding this guard in the center up late, man, come up and hit. Bro, all that holding hands, let's be friends when it comes down to you coming in the gap. No, man, I'm not doing it for nothing. You need to come up and hit, Leighton. You need that guy. And we don't have that guy. Because by Parsons telling me that he want to be buddy, he's just going off of next. He don't know no better. Because everybody knew what we need. Everybody know what's really going on with this defense. We wouldn't talk, even with the secondary, right? We know the secondary, even with what we had, was still pretty much play well. You know what I mean? They, especially against the Niner game. We was getting punked. Teflon was going on. What about that? Oh, I love Dalvin Tomlinson. I would love Dalvin Tomlinson. I would love that. And Donald, man, shoot, if they gonna spend some money, why not, right, Terminator? Shoot, man, Aaron Donald to change his team. Aaron Donald will probably be that guy that we were just talking about, not only holding you accountable, but for somebody that Michael Parsons can look up to. Because when it's all said and done, right? Now, DeMarcus Lawrence, he's a heck of a player. Let's not be real. We're not going to go there with him. But let's be honest with you. Do you think Michael Parsons is looking up to DeMarcus Lawrence? Nah. Right? DeMarcus Lawrence out here trying to keep up with the Joneses. He trying to go ahead, man, and be like, man, I'm out here. He out here trying to compete. He out here trying to compete with Michael Parsons with a sack total. Instead of going ahead and setting the edge, man, and be like, man, I'm just coming out here, man, and doing what I got to do. He out here trying to compete. Who gonna get more sacks? That ain't what type of leader that I want. You think Cameron Hayward over there in Pittsburgh was trying to compete with other people with sacks? Cameron Hayward was trying to win. Hey, I was watching that, man, I think it was last year, man, when it was talking about the leadership that, Mike Tomlin, the leadership that not only he had, but he held his vets to a high standard to go ahead and bring on Najee Harris. That's what Dallas needs. And that's why Mike Tomlin never had a losing season, because of things like that. Because of things like that. Yeah, man. Thomason just got signed. Okay. Where did Thomason go? Where did Lakin go? I'm telling you, like, the front needs somebody, because DeMarcus Lawrence was never somebody that you can just look up to and be like, okay. And it's crazy to say that, because DeMarcus Lawrence has been very good for the Cowboys, has been an excellent second-round pick for the Cowboys, right? Has been an excellent representation of what you need to do as far as being a complete player. But not only, as mentioned before, that he lost a step, he lost some discipline, right? Man, the man said what he said he did, man. He need to get back on those sweets. He see, the cold thing about it is, man, he leaned out. Not only, yeah, you went on ahead and salvage your quickness, but bro, we need you to go ahead and bulk up and stop this run. You're older now, Lawrence. Go ahead, man, and you still gonna have an athletic advantage over most, man. Go ahead, man, because we ain't gonna act like we don't remember him getting abused in the Giants tackle. But bro, we need you to set the edge, bro. That's what we missing. See, Michael Parsons, he don't set the edge. Lawrence, he usually set the edge, but he wasn't setting the edge. Dorrance Armstrong was not setting the edge. So our only hope right now is maybe having Ghost in there to try to set this edge, and Sam Williams, because we know Sam Williams, man, can set the edge. We know he's very strong to set the edge, though. But when you look at other players around you that's going ahead and doing what they want and not really holding themselves accountable within, and then having a relaxed coach, that gets you to get the same result, right? I don't care how good a player is. You need coaching. You need coaching, because sometimes, man, you just get lax sometimes. You need somebody that's going to hold you accountable. And we don't have that, right? Like Dan Quinn need to get back on that. We need to get back on it. Oh, the Browns? Ooh, that's nice. Damn. Hey, Terminator Greed. Hey, Teflon. Oh, you just took the words out of my mouth. Look what the Niners did, right? We want to be cheap, right? Look what the Browns doing. Look what the Washington, they franchise tagged him, and they instantly paid Deron Payne. They instantly, first day free agency, they said, Hargraves, come on. You see the good teams. You see the teams who's really about something. You see how they prioritize defensive tackle, whether it be a premium rusher or some real beef that can get a push. You see how they go, and the Eagles gonna suffer from that too. You see how they prioritize that. Why is the Cowboys not bro? With that franchise tag, I believe you can still trade. Bro. I would have paid with the Washington. Bro, what do you want, Washington? What do you want for Deron Payne? What do you want? Bro, Deron Payne would have definitely changed his whole team around. Even Tomlinson would have changed. Hargrave would have changed his team around. Sue probably would have helped that team last year. You see how all the teams, man, that went to the Super Bowl. Let's look at the Browns. I mean, not the Browns, but the Bengals. B.J. Hill, DJ Reader. And we know they signed DJ Reader like a couple years ago. They spent money in free agency for DJ. They went to the bowl with DJ Reader. Come on, man. The Bills was trying to go ahead and sign some bulk inside. The Bills addressed their D-line. The Giants, man, for him to get to where they got so far, who was leading their defense? Leonard Williams, who the Dallas Cowboys missed on. Dexter Lawrence. Look at all these teams, man, whether they was talented or not. They all had D tackles. Now, look, I would love Hankins back, but even if I brought Hankins back, I still would need another one. And I love Osa. I do. I would love Osa to still be here. But if you ever decided to trade Osa, it best to be for a premium rusher, or you just get bulky, beefy. You don't need. See, look, man. This is the two options that the Cowboys need to go ahead and go with at D tackle. Either you get you a big physical D tackle who can get you some inside push, or you get you a premium rusher at D tackle. There's no in between regarding this free agency. There's no in between. Now we didn't hear Jerry Jones run his mouth about not mortgaging the future. That's fine. You don't have to mortgage the future to bring somebody like that in. But it's crazy how these teams, man, who've been sucking for so long, is going ahead and seeing what they need to make a difference. Look at the Jets, man. They trying to go ahead and bring Aaron Rodgers in. They trying to bring what's going on, Rich. They trying to bring Aaron Rodgers in. Come on, man. Dolphins spending money. And the Dolphins got that Clemson D tackle. Mm-hmm. Yep. This team, it'll be nice though if they can get them a nose who can get some inside push. That'll help this team tremendously. And we know that Hankins not gonna get pushed. Hankins is tremendous in the inside, but he's not gonna get up. Man, what's up with man? I know it's a divisional, but what's going on with Allen from Washington? Can we have some talks with him? Can we have some talks with Allen? We just need somebody, man, who's gonna make plays, man. Low. Hey. Oh man, hey. Facts, Low. We still need Dak to go ahead and watch Boys in the Hood. He need to watch Don't Be a Menace. Dak needs some fried chicken. Oh man. That cat. Ooh, bird for real? I know it's like what is it like 49 this year? 60? Oh no, that ain't gonna work, Jay Bird. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work, man. That ain't gonna work, man. 60? Now I know the cat. Hey, I know the cap going up. Ooh, 60? That boy Dak finessed Jerry Jones, didn't he? Boy Dak done messed around and finessed Jerry Jones. Boy, for Dak to get 60 bill? Because didn't Daniel Jones, hold on, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Daniel Jones get like 36, 38, something like that, 40? It was one of them. I know it's less than what Dak Prescott getting. And I'm not saying that they're the same type of quarterback, but for what Daniel Jones does for the Giants, that's pretty much the same thing that what Dak Prescott does for the Cowboys. And he getting paid less. mm. Mm. I mean, I can't argue with somebody got to get their money though. But man, Jerry dropped the ball with this one. I seen somebody talk. I don't know if I was scrolling through earlier, man. Because I don't watch that. What is it? That not First Take, but that Skip and Shannon. But it'll come on my feed, and I seen it said something talking about a Lamar, Trey Lamar for Dak. Now look, I'll pay that for Lamar. I'll pay that. But Lamar ain't never had no weapons like Dak has. The best wide receiver Lamar had was what? His tight ends, Hurst and Andrews. Marquise ain't no number one. He ain't never had. They've been giving that man mediocre, and he's still been winning with that. Bro, Lamar Jackson a winner. Now, I know that's dreaming, right? I know that's dreaming, though, but, man, I can't have dreams, too. Oh, man. Yeah, you do. Hey, I'm telling you, man. I bet you that's what it is. Because you see, but look though, even though we say what we saying though, we not gonna act like women don't be having an effect on these quarterbacks' psyche though. Even with Romo though, right? Even with Romo, we ain't gonna act like Sierra ain't had no effect on Russell Wilson. We ain't gonna act like they don't be having some type of sex. So even though we laughing though, it's still some truth to it though. You know what I mean? Like it's still some truth, and we know. And if Dak went on ahead and make that transition, hey, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. God damn, Bird. 59? Oh. Damn. Man, with them numbers, they're going to have to mess around and double up at wide receiver. They're going to have to double up. Uh-huh. Yes. Hey, that's crazy because we could talk about players not allowing the outside affect them, but let's be honest with you, man. They human. It's naturally gonna happen. And you know what I'm saying? Like, even if you try to be lasered and focused in, man, like even with Dak Prescott going a lot with his injuries, right? We know that Dak Prescott sometimes didn't choose to run because of his psyche of past injuries, right? And so just think, man, if he had, you know what I'm saying, a different choice of woman that'll probably add a little edge to him, that'll probably add a little bit more confidence to him, we probably won't be having this discussion about Dak Prescott. If he went on ahead and changed his choice of women, we'll probably be sitting up, but you know what? Dak Prescott, he looked like he might be worth that $59 million this year, right? We know the cap going, and he might be worth that. You know what I mean? And then I see something talking about Dak was going through a breakup during the playoffs. Come on, man. Come on, Dak. Come on, Dak. What talking about? He was some cheating or something like that? Come on, Dak. That's all I'm saying, man. We got to do so much, right? We got to do so much just to get Dak Prescott to be comfortable and to be functional. You're going to have to sit over there. Who knows? You probably going to have to go bring you in another tight end. You probably have to bring you another tight end. You definitely going to have to bring you a vet. I don't care what nobody say. You want to bring you a vet. You're probably going to have to draft. You got to bring him a good running back. Right? Because let's be honest with you. We bringing Tony Pollard back. Cool, I guess. But we know that Tony Pollard shouldn't be getting 20 to 25 carries a game. Even his running back coach said that. Right? So we're gonna be honest with you. Even though Tony Pollard naturally be like, I can handle it. Let's be honest with you. If Tony Pollard was to go ahead and get the carries that Zeke got in his rookie year and the second year, we know that Tony Pollard won't be as effective. So the less that Tony Pollard can get, the better. So I still will look at somebody like a Bijan or the what you call it, the Alabama running back. I honestly look. This is what I would have did with Dallas, man. I would have took on I need that psychiatry. Dang. It's like this though, man. It's real like this. I wouldn't have paid TP. I would have drafted. And you, but look what these other teams is doing though, right? You see Derrick Henry being, and this is crazy though, because you're seeing Derrick Henry being tossed around in trade rumors. You see Dalvin Cook being tossed around in trade rumors. You see the Eagles went to go sign Penny. But it's crazy. All these other teams that signed these running backs to double-digit contracts is now looking to move them. But we want to go ahead and spend some more $10 million for a running back that's not even probably going to be maybe here in the future. Because I would understood that Jerry Jones had learned his lesson with Ezekiel Elliott. Now, if anybody deserved to get double-digit was Ezekiel Elliott at that time. At that time. Now, we knew that there's going to come a time where Zeke Elliott was going to go ahead and be on a decline. But damn, we didn't think it was going to be this much where we just thinking that, yeah, Zeke is still a good back, but he definitely not, we ain't thinking it was going to be this much, though. Even though if he would have played all the games, he still would have had over 1,000, which is cool, right? And you would have had two running backs that's over 1,000 yards, which is cool. And if you didn't have Tony Pollard to get the carries that he had, and he would have gave some of them to Zeke, and he still would have had probably a better year than what he had, which is cool. But dang, it's crazy when you give a running back 15 plus mil to be a duo. Man, when I sit over there and say that's like me going to one of these expensive restaurants, and you paying $300-400 for a meal to get something that you could have got at a fast food restaurant. When the more that you pay, the more premium that you expect, and the more tastier that you expect. Or are you paying for, I guess, the experience of being in that environment? Man, we ain't even getting the experience of being in that environment. We out here getting now we getting some good burgers now, right? We getting a good water burger, an In-N-Out burger, or whatever burger you're like. We getting a good burger, and it tastes good, and it's good, and it do the same. But instead of us paying $40 for a burger and for the meal, we could have got that same meal for $15-20. With a large fry and a large soda, man, and maybe go ahead and throw another patty on the burger, man, and tell them, can you put some more barbecue sauce and some more ketchup on the meal? We could have got all that, and it still been good, and it still would have filled us up for less. That's how I see it with the running back position. And there's some good running backs. See, there, man, what's his name? Is it McBride? I think it's McBride. Now, if they for somehow went Tony Pollard and they got somebody like McBride, even if they kept Zeke or not, I'm with it. Because one thing this team needs is a running back that can go ahead, man, and churn them yards out, right? We love TP, but we need somebody that's going to churn them yards out, right? That's going to give you 4 or 5 here and keep the sticks moving. That's what this team needs, right? That's what Ezekiel Elliott was doing for us in his first year, right? We'll get the 50, 60-yard screen run. Yeah, we'll get an occasional 50-yard run, 40-yard. Yeah, we'll get all that nice clutch run against Pittsburgh. Yeah, we got all that run against the Cincinnati Bengals, right? But we knew that consistently that we was going to go ahead and move the chains with that running game. And that's exactly what this team needs. And how are you going to do that? By going ahead, man, and making this offensive line better and going ahead and bringing fresh legs at running back. That's the only way that this team is going to go ahead, man, and do that. Yeah, you said you can't get that great. Man, I don't know, man. I'm thinking, man, I don't think they're gonna bring both back. I was always thinking it was gonna be one or the other. Teflon. I think Zeke might not be here, man. Cause y'all remember, I think it was Bobby Belt, man. When I had read that report, I don't know if y'all remember, before the season start, when we did that live, they was talking about Bobby Belt that Zeke wasn't gonna be here regardless of how good his season was. Man, the more that I see what's going on behind the scenes, and the more that I try to put two and two together, the more I think about that tweet. I'm like, Zeke might not be here, man. And especially since you gave $10 million to TP, and he might not be here. He might not be here. You would have to double them up. You would have to double them up. Yeah, but Malik Davis, see, I thought that they was going to go ahead and keep him as far as maybe make him a bigger part of the offense, because he definitely did some good things. Or Charbonnet. You know, I like that UCLA running back. That UCLA running back will give us what we need. I like Charbonnet. You know, if I can't get my hands on Bijan or Gibbs, Charbonnet and McBride would be the ones that I want. But it's like, man, I don't know, man. Let's see if they got anything else going on, man. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. Shoot, when I seen what was it, a few days ago when OBJ had his workout, Dallas wasn't there. This team goes south. Who? No. James Slater said to address my mentions, not sure where D-Hop and Cowboys talk is coming from, but my sources tell me they haven't approached it and nothing there right now. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. I am not surprised. They need to go. What I've been thinking, right? What I've been thinking is Grady Jarrett. Added somebody like Grady Jarrett, man. If somehow you brought Hankins, Osa, I think Grady Jarrett would be something that'll be worth it. And don't this team ain't Cooper Rush contract up? If I'm not mistaken, ain't Cooper Rush contract up? If so, they need to invest in a running back. I mean, not a running back, but a quarterback that got better legs. Right? I always compare the quarterback situation to the Baltimore Ravens. Right? When Lamar Jackson missed games, Tyler Huntley comes into the fold. He's not Lamar Jackson, but they able to keep the offense the same, and it kind of clicks, right? Yeah, he's definitely a watered down version, but he keeps the same offense going, and it keeps everything the same. And I believe that that's what this team needs, right? See, the way that we won with Cooper Rush was the same way that we were supposed to win with Dak Prescott. And Dak Prescott legs was just a luxury of the situation. He's just a little better quarterback. But when we start asking Dak Prescott to go ahead, man, and be part of an air raid offense, man, that's just not what it is. Thielen, huh? You like Charbonnet a little bit more than me, but he's for sure, huh? Okay. You like McBride over Charbonnet, Jay Bird? Cooper Rush gonna go to Chargers. Probably. Probably. I can see it in him and Dalton Schultz. I can see it. I definitely can see it. Shoot, Dalton Schultz would be somebody out that you would get in fantasy if you went to the Chargers for sure. Is they waiting on Keenan Allen? Or something? What's going on? See, this team, right? I'm gonna tell you what this team needs. We need a route runner, somebody that can win quick, and some more speed. You got the size, man. You got good enough size, man, at wide receiver, man. And that's counting if you want to go ahead and continue to put in the fold of Tolbert, man. And, you know, I think out of all the picks that they might should give up on, man, as much as it be like, man, I don't want to give up on them. But who really disappointed me last year was Kelvin Joseph. Because he's way better than what he's been showing. But man, when your mental ain't there, how could I rely on you to be a corner to be able to live up to your expectations, and you don't even have the mental capacity to be able to go ahead and do that? Your focus, when Jerry talking about you need a man up in public, yeah, that's something right there. And then for you to say that you was relying on Tolbert, man, let's just say we missed on that one, man. Because look, even if Tolbert didn't have the year that they expected, you would see signs of, okay, Tolbert might be that guy. I've never ever seen signs of when the film that I watched of him last year, preseason, regular season, I never seen signs like, okay, maybe he might turn into a good player for us. I never seen signs of that. So maybe I might be wrong. I don't know. If I'm wrong, I would love to be wrong. But I just don't see it. I don't see it. Schultz said no to. I'm glad. I don't even know why the boys would even go ahead and offer him. Oh yeah. But and I also, even though I love Ferguson, I wouldn't mind getting another tight end though to pair with him though. How much salary is paid? I keep seeing that. I'm not too sure about that, Rich. I'm not too sure about that. Yeah, he on that and he's 6'3", Jay Bird, Charbonnet, and he like 6'2". He got that Matt Forte in him, man, that I like, man. He got that Matt Forte in him, man. And if you get Matt Forte out of that, man, that's one of my favorite running backs right there, on Matt Forte, man. He got that man. He can't read the playbook. That's a problem, Terminator. That's a problem. That's a problem. He can't read no playbook. And then I see Turpin. Turpin want to go ahead and prove himself at wide receiver. If for somehow you can get that, I'm cool. Shoot, what's up with Kenny Clark? Since we all want to go ahead and go back to Green Bay roots, what's going on with Kenny Clark? I would love for Kenny Clark to be in this scheme. Kenny Clark in this scheme with Dan Quinn would eat. Kenny Clark would eat. He most definitely would eat. but that's one thing that they're gonna have to make that a priority, y'all. They cannot go into training camp without going ahead and making this interior D tackle a priority. Well, however they do it, it needs to be better. Because evidently along the way, they lost faith in Bohannon for some reason. Because Carlos Watkins went on ahead and took on a lot of them snaps later down the line. And although I guess it was, I'm not gonna front on old Carlos Watkins, man. He definitely did some good things, man. But we all know that we can't rely on no Carlos Watkins. We know we can't rely on Neville Gallimore, man. This team, right? And Bohannon pretty much, we could say, got his spot took. So all you got right now, if you want to be honest with you, all you got on the team is Osa. That's all you got on this team. It's Osa. That's all we got is Osa, y'all. One that you can say that you can rely on and say, man, Osa gonna go ahead, man, and ball out, right? Because Osa was very good against the run this year. But what good is having one D tackle or even two D tackles with Hankins when you don't have your D ends in sync? When you go ahead, see, I would look, man. If y'all remember on that one film session, man, I think it was in the middle of the year, man, when Hankins, man, I think it was like maybe the third or fourth game, man, when Hankins, man, went on ahead and squeezed everything and pushed everything to the outside, and Michael Parsons came inside. He took an inside angle and allowed that running back to bounce it outside. When Michael Parsons should have went on ahead and held frame and held that deep tackle and pushed everything back, they would have sandwiched for a loss. But for some reason, he got like a couple yard gain. And all them stuff, that makes a difference, man. Right? See, Michael Parsons, you can't out athletic, for 17 games. He will save so much energy. Not only if he go ahead and reads his keys and do his job, but if he went on ahead and use more technique. You need to continue to go ahead and get with DeMarcus Ware, man. He need to continue to get with DeMarcus Ware. He need to go ahead, man, and call on. He need to get with other. He need to go get with like other little stars in the all season. He need to go ahead and get with Lawrence can teach him. Cam Jordan. You need to get with somebody, man. I would rather see him to get with somebody that got an edge on him. No, he need to get with somebody that got an edge, man. Go ahead and go holler at Willie McGinnis, man. Even though I know he got a whole bunch of things going on. Go ahead and holler at Willie McGinnis, man. He would love to go ahead and get his mind off of what he got going on right now. Yeah. Yeah. As much as we love the way that Will McClay has been drafting, they missed bad on that one. And the cool thing about it, Bird, they was relying on Bohannon. And Bohannon had a good start, but he didn't have a good finish. They was relying on Bohannon. So if Bohannon ain't gonna be that guy, then they're gonna have to go ahead and go get somebody. So that means right now we really have no nose. We have no nose. We only have one D tackle. We got to fix that. Man, Terminator, who you telling? Even with Turpin, like, I just say this sometimes, man, go ahead and just run him deep. Run him deep. Decoy him. Put the ball in his hand sometime. Kind of, I wouldn't say, kind of maybe Percy Harvin him just a little bit. I ain't saying to give him 20 touches, though, but to throw it off a little bit, man. Like, what good is going ahead and just signing somebody from the contract that you signed that you can't go ahead? Because look what the Jags do with Agnew. Right? He's a return man, but they use him on jet sweeps, end rounds. He'll get the ball in his hands quick, and he'll go ahead, man, and try to outflank the defense. What good is having that little Turpin, man? And you can't do some of them things that the Jaguars do with their returner, man. All these good returners, man, whether it be Dion, Cribs, Hester, right? They all tried to find ways to get the ball in their hands for them to try to get something dynamic going on with them. So, I mean, they should at least try with Turpin, man. If it don't work, then it just is what it is, man. You know, of course, we didn't want Turpin to go ahead and get no 30 snaps at wide receiver. We know that wasn't going to be the case. But to have a switch up, like when the last time that we really just said that Dallas Cowboys got a deep threat? Like, man, he'll just take the top off, and that just is what it is, man. You know, when the last time have we had that? We haven't really had that. And we know it, and we know that it needs to be had, right? I see the Broncos talking about trading Sutton or Jared Jeudy, and Jared Jeudy was rumored in a trade season last season. So if I'm Dallas, I'm picking up the call. Jared Jeudy with CeeDee Lamb, I like that. Jared Jeudy with CeeDee Lamb, and you go ahead and draft, I like that. I like that. Man, let Washington go ahead, man. Come on, man. They get on, and I believe, and I know the reason why they let Ridgeway go is because of his athleticism. So what, bro? We getting punked, and you out here worried about, you know, we out here worried about, man. Can he go ahead and move quick lap? Man, he moved good enough. Ridgeway ain't letting nobody run at him, and that's what we need to bounce it out. You got all these quick guys. You got Fowler, you got Lawrence, you got Micah. You out here worried about your D tackle and his movement? You ain't got no patience. What's the point? What's the point? And then you gonna rely on Bohannon? Yeah, man. They fumbled the bag with these D tackles. That's what I'm saying. If they gonna fumble the bag in the draft with the D tackles, then they need to go ahead, man, and go bring one in during trade or the free agency, man. So they need to go ahead and be getting aggressive at D tackle. Because that's what a lot of these teams, man, who making the playoffs is doing. They being aggressive, right? They bringing in Lawrence. They bringing in Leonard Williams, trade or free agency. Reader. They drafting high. Lawrence was a higher pick. They drafted Payne and Jonathan Allen high. Yeah, they may not be no Aaron Donald. They may not be no Chris Jones, but they drafted them high because of the talent level that they bring. And that's what the Cowboys going to do. Look, if you ain't going to bring them in, then you need to go ahead and find and draft somebody high, right? Vita Vea was drafted high. Drafted high. Jeffrey Simmons, Titans, high. Right? Drafted high. You know, you may find a gem later down. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? Because once we touch on the D tackles, we're gonna find out real quick, man. Is they really that? But you're gonna have to use a premium pick. Now I know. Now I'm quick to tell you, like for instance, what the Eagles did. Now I definitely wouldn't have used my premium pick on the one that they got from Georgia. That ain't a premium. That'd have been more of a second round type of thing. That first round. Even the way they were picking, that was a little suspect, right? But at least they try to address it high. They brought in Hargrave, man. They paid Hargrave. They brought him in. They drafted Fletcher Cox, right? Look at our division. Look at the D tackles that our division has. Now look at our D tackle position. We out here worried about speed. We out here worried about, speed on defense, but we getting ran at. We relying on Noah Brown to be that guy. And he had a few hundred yards during the first few games, but only ended the season. What was it, 555 I seen? Come on, man. come on, man. Like, we really wasted a year, man. And then you brought in T.Y. Hilton and didn't use him correctly. So, wide receiver and D tackles, that should be the premium focus. Whether you use it a high draft pick in a draft, or you need to go ahead and spend some money on somebody who's already proven. There's no in between on this one, y'all. It needs to be premium. You can't go cheap at D tackle. Now you got lucky you was able to get Osa, which was a very good pick, but that's not gonna cut it. You need about 3 more. You need 3 more, right? Gilmore need to go. He ain't gonna cut it. You got rid of Hill. Watkins ain't gonna cut it. I don't know what you're gonna do with Hankins. I'm down if you want to bring him back, but still, I still need to spend a premium pick on a D tackle or spend something, even if I did bring Hankins back, right? Because teams have flexibility in the inside, right? Either they rolling with somebody, man, that kind of being that Tyrone Crawford situation that can play inside and out. See, the Chiefs had the luxury of being able to play Chris Jones inside and out at times, right? He wasn't just a D tackle, man. And I'm gonna always compare a lot of what the Chiefs do, because the Chiefs has been to 3 Super Bowls within a few year period, led by Chris Jones and Mahomes. Bro, they won a Super Bowl without Tyreek Hill. They addressed their defense, right? No Matthew, Bolton, Frank. Come on, man. And you telling me that this D tackle should be more of a priority, man? Hey, man, if Jerry ain't don't bring no D tackles, man, this is all I got for Jerry, man. That's all I got for Jerry and them, man. If they can't go ahead, man, and bring the D tackles that's needed to not only compete in this division, tackling Saquon, tackling the Commanders running back who's good, right? Being able to maintain and keep Hurts in the pocket, bro. Like, we gonna struggle. We're going to struggle. Because all Commanders need is better quarterback play and better offensive line play. And the Commanders is in business. That's all that they need. And they're competing with the division. Philly gonna fall off. They're going to lose. They're going to fall off. But you're going to have to worry about the Commanders. And if the Giants continue to get better, you're going to have to worry about them. So even with Philly falling off some, they still gonna give you a battle. So not only do you got to worry about trying to compete in the second half of the season playoffs, you gotta go ahead and fix your team around being able to go ahead and compete against what the division is doing to you. The division is just trying to make some noise against you. They've seen Ezekiel Elliott, and they drafted Deron Payne and Allen. They seen Ezekiel Elliott, and they went to go ahead and go trade for Leonard Williams and get Dexter Lawrence. They got Fletcher Cox on you. They went to go draft Jordan Davis on you. So every move that we make, they counter. So how are we going to counter back? There's no way that Philly, even though they choke, that the Philadelphia Eagles, man, that go through so many down seasons, then all of a sudden get one little lucky season and they go all the way. And we done had so many good teams and have underperformed with them, pretty much all of them. There's no way that this should be happening like this. I haven't checked them out, Jay Bird. I haven't checked them out yet. Because what I would do, since I finished the tackles, we'll probably talk about them tackles tomorrow. Since I finished them tackles, I'm probably not gonna go 10 deep on a quarterback. We're gonna knock them out, or unless y'all want me to go straight to defense, and then we can get straight to the D tackles or wherever we need to go. We can go wherever y'all position y'all want me. We can go straight to the D tackles. Unless y'all want to do quarterbacks last, I'll let y'all pick it. If after the tackles, y'all want me to go straight to the D tackles, or y'all want me to go ahead and knock out these quarterbacks, then go to the D tackles. Because we kind of, the quarterbacks is kind of self-explanatory. And the main thing that we will be looking at is these bottom end quarterbacks, because we know that we ain't gonna get no Bryce Young. We know that we ain't gonna get no Stroud, no Richardson, what was it? Levis or whatever his name is. We know we're not gonna get them. So we'll be in a hunt for like the Tennessee quarterback. We'll be in a hunt for the TCU quarterback. They're the type of quarterbacks that we probably would be in a hunt for if we do pull it, and then we ain't gonna be pulling that in the first 2 days. Them was all third day picks, So that'll probably what we be doing. But there's definitely some things going on, man. Stephon Gilmore was, I guess, that was our hush money. Stephon Gilmore was our hush money today to try to hold us up. That was our hush money. But I'm sorry, Jerry, that ain't no hush money for me. You know what I mean? You want to go ahead and give us some hush money? Go give us a real D tackle. Go give us a real D tackle. And then we can talk about. Dang. Hold on. What they talking about with the Cowboys? Oh, that's just rumors? Okay. Look at these rumors real quick. Give me a second. What they talking about? Houston Texans. So we beat out the Steelers for Gilmore? Shoot. I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about that. Yeah, they're going to have to be. Shoot. Unless the Steelers, man, they giving us one. The Steelers, man, one thing that's been with their success is that they always drafted them D tackles. McClendon, Haywards, Tuitt, right? Hargrave, right? They always thinking about that next D tackle to anchor the middle, to go ahead and be physical, right? That's what the Cowboys need to start doing, man. Okay, you're going to go straight to the D tackles? All right, bet. We're going to go straight to the D tackles after we talk about the old tackles then. Because I'm curious, too. I ain't even going to lie. I'm curious about them D tackles. We're gonna go to D. We'll say quarterbacks for last. We'll go to the D tackles. We should pick up Matt Ryan as our backup. Shady McCoy mad as hell. Hey, Shady, man. Hey, Shady a professional hater, man, of the Cowboys, man. He a professional hater. I be seeing some of his outrageous takes, man. I'll be like, man, what this man talking about, man? Smith out of Michigan and Coburn out of Texas as 2-1 technical. I like pretty good. Probably give us a little more pass rush. Okay. I'm going to check them out. Because realistically, y'all, once we seen what the Dallas Cowboys did to go get Mo Claiborne, there shouldn't be nobody that's out of reach for us. There shouldn't be nobody. So if there's somebody that you like, go for it. Now, I know we ain't going to trade in the top 10 because that's a heavy price. But when we get to like 12 on down, start thinking about that price. If there's somebody that you want to go ahead and make. Start thinking about that price, man. If for some reason at Georgia, because I've been looking at that Georgia D tackle, like when I look at him go against some of these tackles, like I watched him against Torrance. and then I watched him. Man, who was the tackle that I watched? Because I'm still watching. I'm watching these D linemen against, especially these tackles that I'm watching, and yeah, because Van Ness, I see the. I don't. Well, I'm not gonna judge it because I didn't watch the full, but I don't see the hype on Van Ness. But that was one game though. That was one game though. So I ain't gonna go ahead and get my take on Van Ness yet though. But there's some D tackles that I'm like, I mean D ends that I'm like, But there are some D tackles, man, that when they was kind of making some noise though. So we gonna see. Pick the best. The best center was what's his name? Schmitz. Schmitz. Yeah. Schmitz. Hey man, Schmitz will definitely be, because you could probably plug him in at some guard too, I think. But that'll definitely be a surprise pick, most definitely. But you can start thinking about, do they see Tyler Biadasz as somebody that they want to pay? And if they don't want to pay Tyler Biadasz, then hey, look, I agree with you. Center might need to be in consideration. Picking the best center should definitely be in consideration for sure. I agree on that one. Because if you want to just go young and just pay later on, right? Because then you're gonna be in a position where now you got to pay Steele, then you got to pay Tyler Smith, and then you got to pay your center, right? So now we know that the center is not going to be requesting, top 3 center money unless he just has a superb season this year. Then you might have to fork out something. But if you get a superb season from him, or you get, if you continue to get main play, then it shouldn't cost that much. It's going to cost you, but it shouldn't cost that much. And, we love to keep our guys, man. And I like Biadasz, man. Biadasz is good, man. So, we just been spoiled with Andre Garrard. We just been spoiled with Travis Frederick. So we've been spoiled. So when we see somebody that's not on the level of Travis Frederick, we automatically think, oh, you're a bum. You're a bum. You ain't going to do it. You're a bum. Right? Because one thing that we have been spoiled with these past few years is some good linemen. We've been spoiled with Tyron, Zach, Frederick. Even when Collins was playing good, we got spoiled with him. Now we getting spoiled with Tyler Smith. Hey, Cowboys, one thing for sure, man. You can expect we need to be spoiled at offensive lineman, man. Cowboys, whether you go back in time or until now, we've always had Pro Bowler and Hall of Fame type linemen. Zach Martin, always Pro Bowler, Hall of Fame type lineman. And that should always be the standard that the Cowboys have, no matter who's at quarterback and no matter who's at owner, right? One thing's for sure. That offensive line need to be right. Made the Pro Bowl. Yep. That prescription. Oh, man. Dang. But hey, I'm for it though. I'm for improving his line, because I can't wait to talk about them tackles tomorrow. I'm for it. I'm definitely for it. I can't wait to talk about them tackles, man, because my viewpoint on them, it's a little different. But I also seen a couple gems that right now they wouldn't be ready, but in the future they would be if they got coached right. And there's definitely there's definitely a lot of some good tackles this year. Definitely some good tackles. Some that need some work, and there's some that others may be high on, but I'm not. I'm not. So I can't wait to talk about them. But yeah, man. Hey, I'll tell you like this. If we don't spend some premium funds or some premium picks on positions that's going to go ahead and take us to the next level, man, we just going to expect the same thing that we done got. We should just expect the same thing. Coming up short. Coming up short. Right? If we don't get Dak, nobody to throw to. If we don't get Dak, nobody to protect, improve protection, improve running game. And when I'm saying improve, we probably need to be like, I'll be honest with you, we need to probably be top 8 in all categories, running and throwing. Let's be honest with you. That's what Dak need. We need to be top 8 in all categories. We need to have some fresh legs at running back. And we definitely need somebody that's going to go ahead, man, and route these fools up. I seen that they was talking about that they were, or I don't know if it was true, but I guess it was some combine talking about they may regret losing Cedric Wilson. I'll be honest with you, man. You shouldn't regret losing Cedric Wilson because if Cedric Wilson was going to be relied on to be a number 2 wide receiver, then Cedric Wilson wasn't going to have the year that you thought he would have had if he got paid, right? See, Cedric Wilson is somebody that, you know, when you got 2 good outside receivers, man, and that the attention is not all on him, he can go ahead, man, and do his thing. See, Cedric Wilson is a 3rd, 4th top wide receiver, but a good 3rd, 4th option, man. But him being in a bigger role, like a Noah Brown role, I don't think that he would have flourished in that role, you know. But now, if you would have had T.Y. Hilton and maybe a healthy Gallup with Cedric Wilson, then you probably would have had some. You probably would have did some good things. Yeah, I can run. I don't know. Man, I say, hey, if they like them tackles more than they like Walesko, hey, Loke, I'm willing to go tackle. I'm willing to go tackle. I'm willing to go guard, Cody Mock or Skoronsky or whatever. I'm willing to go whatever they need to do to make sure that we beefed up and we protected up. So whatever we got to do, I'm willing to do it. You know, but just because I may rock with a certain dude on this team don't mean I ain't willing to get better, because I for sure willing to get better. Has anyone heard from Cedric Wilson? I don't think he even had a good year. What kind of year did he have in Miami? Because he sure was quiet. I seen him when I watched mine. I seen him a couple times, but he was quiet, man. Let me see what he got going on. Cedric Wilson. What kind of year did that man have, man? What kind of year did he have? Cedric Wilson. Oh, my gosh. You lying. Dang, yo. That man he disappeared. 12 catches for 136 yards. Dang. Was he hurt? Was he hurt or something? Let me see. What's the game splits? What's the game log? Dang. Okay, how many did he play? Dang, y'all. 1, 2, 3. Dang, y'all. Dang, he played enough games too. That man was going to games with 2 targets. Wow. The most targets that I've seen was 4 catches for 20 yards. Dang. Dang, y'all. Dang. Dang. And the cool thing about it is they should have known that, because Tua is a deep ball thrower. That's why it was good to get Waddle and Tyreek Hill. That's the type of receivers he need. You know, it may be a bigger target in the inside. Cedric, I didn't understand that one. You know, because it's crazy because Tua throw a better deep ball than he would a short to intermediate one. That's crazy though. That's crazy. That's crazy. I wasn't a proponent of bringing Wilson back. Yeah, I definitely wasn't a proponent. Yeah, I definitely would. I agree. I agree. I didn't want him or Gallup back, to be honest with you. I thought we could have went. Just think that if we didn't have Gallup and we would have went in another direction, we wouldn't even be talking about. We could have been and pulled a Diggs and a Hopkins off or something like that. You know, we could have went so many other directions. And then now he getting his contract restructured and stuff, man. Come on, man. Because they know that in all reality, what he's getting paid, you know, it probably was unnecessary with this. I'm not saying that he wasn't deserving, but probably not deserving with us. He wasn't deserving with us. You know, we should have went another direction with that. You know, if we would have went another direction, trade it, maybe trade for somebody that was making 10 mil or less, that would have gave us better production. You see, I would have man, what they should have did was, man, that Denzel Mims and Elijah Moore, they should have pulled the trigger on one of them from the Jets. They should have pulled the trigger on one of them early, man. Because I'm 100% sure that one of them wide receivers definitely would have gave us better production than what Gallup would have gave us this year, and it would have been cheaper. And you still could have been talking about bringing in the vet and drafting a wide receiver. You still probably would have needed a wide receiver though, but you would have definitely probably would have had a different outcome though, as far as production from wide receiver. You know, I didn't get it. You know, and we doing the same thing with TP. You know, it's like, why are we giving this man 10 million when I can find a TP, right? Unless he Christian McCaffrey or something, right? If he Christian McCaffrey, okay, then we could talk. But man, we ain't even shown that we can use TP to maximum capacity. So what's the point of paying him 10 mil when all you're going to do is use him as a running back? Unless you're going to use TP like Christian McCaffrey, then what's the point of paying him 10 million? So I would take it that they're going to use him at wide receiver, running back, sometimes at returner. I would expect that from TP. And now if we can get that production from TP, then I'm fine with the 10 million. But if we just using him as a running back, it's a waste of money. Well, so what you gonna? Because if I was TP, I wouldn't play on no tag. I'd be like, man, hey, pay me or trade me. I for sure wouldn't pay on no. I wouldn't play on no tag. Facts. You know, because it ain't even guaranteed that you're gonna get a nice second contract at running back. And TP coming off an excellent year, so he should be trying to seek a payday. And to take a franchise tag, I don't know, man. Somebody in this camp ain't telling him the right things. He should be trying to go get the money. So, I mean, not only is we getting the questionable decisions, the head scratching decisions, and we're like, okay, you did pretty good, right? Like the Donovan Wilson one. Okay, I can give you a round of applause for that. To get Wilson on pretty much 13.5 for 2 years, that's a pretty good deal for what Wilson is going to give to this team, at least for 2 years, assuming that he's going to stay healthy. That's a pretty good deal, I would say, because like I said, I thought he was going to get paid more. I thought we was going to at least see double the numbers or something, right? Somebody was going to try to overpay for his services. So that's a good deal. Leighton, I'm not thrilled. I'll be honest with you, I'm not thrilled. Gilmore, I like the pick. I like the movement. They can talk all they want how old he is or injury prone he has been. I like the move. It's an upgrade over Anthony Brown. Facts. I like how they didn't spend to get McGovern back. I like how they finally went on ahead and said, hey, Noah Brown, it's the end of the road. I like that. So pretty much they just said they telling me that Anthony Brown won't be back. I like that. right? I'm not thrilled with Tony Pollard being franchise tagged. Don't like that. I don't like how, man, some of these tackles who probably would have been very beneficial to this team as far as what we needed inside, how they just at least attempt to try. You know what I mean? Because who knows, right? The Dallas Cowboys, man, the tax situation in Texas, man, you know, the jersey sales, the more exposure for your business event. You know, Texas is nice, right? You know, if you want to start business ventures, you want to get your Jalen Smith on, you want to see little glasses or something like that. You want to go ahead, you can, there's more opportunities other than football, you know, commercial that an exposure for you playing with the Cowboys that could come what you playing for them, right? So a lot of that is coming with the Dallas Cowboys. So that'll probably sell within itself, right? But I don't know, man. They need to start looking at some of these positions just a little bit differently. They need to look at wide receiver that's a little bit different. I like their approach at offensive line. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty good approach. They need to think they approach at running back for sure, wide receiver for sure. I mean, you're stuck with your quarterback at least for another year or two. So I mean, it is what it is on that. You need to rethink the D tackle situation, and you need to figure out what you're gonna do at linebacker. Right, ends. We get good ends, right? We get good ends, but they need to go ahead and rethink this D tackle situation, because it was really the true last time that we didn't had a real elite D tackle. Was it Jay Ratliff? Somebody that can really just put pressure on you. I think probably was Jay Ratliff, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was Jay Ratliff, right? Small, but went to go get it. So they're going to do something, y'all. They're going to do something, y'all. But anywho, man, appreciate y'all for coming. We should be back. I don't know. Maybe I might do it. Yeah, I'll do it for tomorrow. We'll be here again tomorrow to talk about these tackles. We just had to talk about this free agency today, man. We couldn't let it go. We'll be here to talk about these offensive tackles tomorrow, man. Until next time, y'all, we're up out of here.